How do I feel looking back on 25 years? I'm incredibly proud that we are still here as such a vibrant organisation.
We are a bunch of guys who literally learn the game by watching it on YouTube. And they get hit, and they're like, I wasn't ready for that.
The sense of camaraderie and seeing that continue off the field.
Whereas in the first few years, it was kind of like, this could fall apart tomorrow.
All is in readiness here. The stars are out. The big stage is here. The red carpet is rolled out.
Looking forward to this, as we like to say, a humdinger.
And the question is, can you teach old dogs old tricks? This is a rematch of last year's grand final between the two sides.
They made the grand final last year, now a rematch. It was a slugfest.
Every single player on that team is a weapon.
I'll tell you what, if that doesn't make the hair stand up on the back of your neck, you might want to check your pulse.
So, hang on to a partner. This is going to get rough and ready. The two best sides here at the Nationals, the dream rising to the top in Prince fashion. And these boys are going to get it on. Smash mouth in the middle. And a fantastic mark in front by the number 12.
For the air, Coleman went for it. Look out, here comes trouble.
Sportscast, crash boom opera out of the middle. Everyone goes down and gets funky.
Saying, calm it down. We got this. Let's take some good marks. Let's play some clean footy. That's where we shine.
And the umpire says, I may need to shovel the scraper off the ground. Sockeyes just give me that ball. And she took it away.
He tosses it to the Hammonds and the Gilmore and says, go after it, my daughters, and play footy.
Inexperienced, a little bit probably nervous and over anxious. You've got to keep it plugging away. It'll come.
And a big tackle put in there, but it was high, just a little high around the shoulders.
Taken by the 24 for Minnesota. Freeman in the score is the number 23. He's taken, played on, shoots and scores! That is, we have some new kids on the block with regards to USAFL Nationals.
I love the fact that all these Americans love this sport.
And welcome, by the way, to April Munn to the United States Australian Football League National Championships Field 4 commentary box. And you may go, I don't recall that name, but I recall that voice. You may better know her as April Lewis, but of course she got married just recently to clubmate Rob Mudd. Congratulations, April.
Thank you.
Great to have you up here in the broadcast position, and I know you probably should be on a honeymoon at this moment, but you've got football commitments, including earlier today you defeated the DC Eagles in your Women's Division 1 pool game.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, footy is the honeymoon right now, so we love it, love to be here.
Well, indeed, we've got the Portland Sockeyes taking on the Centennial Tigers wearing the Columbus jumpers. Now, you're going to have to, I guess, bear with us as a commentary team because, unfortunately, the Centennial Tigers team with the Columbus players and New York players about 2 names short on the list, and we've got no numbers for them as well. They're meant to have numbers locked into the system half an hour beforehand. Unfortunately, someone's been a little bit sloppy with the paperwork. So bear with us if we're very Portland-centric because we have their numbers. And I know you've got their notes, April.
Yep, absolutely.
We should mention these are combined teams. Now, with the Portland Sockeyes wearing this greyish jumper with the red, I guess, V, you could almost call it, across the front of it. The Portland Sockeyes also have players joining them from the Boston Demons, the Philadelphia Hawks, and the New Star Blue Ox. While for the Centennial Tigers, they've got players joining them from Ohio Valley, from Columbus, obviously wearing the Columbus jumpers, one player from the Quebec Saints, another also from St. Louis, and we believe also from New York. But those New York players are also missing off that list. So we'll try our very best, as we said, for the team wearing the traditional catch jumpers of white and that navy blue stripe. We unfortunately do not have the numbers. We do recognise a few players, so bear with us as we go along. April, there's been a 2-goal breach to the right-hand side on field 4 that's been evident today. If you're the team defending into it early, are you just going to park the numbers back there?
Absolutely. You know, you've got to anticipate the ball's going probably 5-10 meters longer, and that's where I'd set up in my defensive line and just bunker down.
Well, here's the hurry kick for the Columbus Cats towards the top of their goal square. Defending back there is McSky for the Portland Sockeyes. They'll kick the football along the ground, won't go too far. I can tell by the shorts that's definitely a Centennial Tigers player. Normally the Centennial Tigers jumper is a black and yellow jumper with a bit of purple in there as well. Those that might have seen some of the Centennial Tigers games on the USAFL YouTube page from the Centennial tournament last year as the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. It'll be interesting to watch the role today that Brandy Machado plays for the Portland Sockeyes. She's got some height, so the question is, are they going to play her up forward or are they going to play her in the ruck today?
And you know what? She's so versatile. She can go anywhere. Really dangerous at center half forward, where you might expect to see her today. Really sneaky on the goals.
As going in there to lay the tackle once more, McSky. That's her second tackle so far. Getting over the top of her still Stokely. Normally a Philadelphia Hawks player playing today for Portland. Ball is coughed up. We're about 40 metres out from the Centennial goal. Going to be kicked away here by Tilsed. Tilsed goes out towards the wing position. 1-2 bounces, and the ball will go over the boundary line and out of bounds in front of the tent on the far side of the ground. The one thing that many people have been commenting, particularly watching the earlier Women's Division 2 game, has been the tackling intensity of women's football this year.
Everybody's out here to play footy. I mean, they're showing up. It's really encouraging to see.
As the ball is close towards the boundary line, won't quite go over, trying to jump onto it there, Caitlin Tilsed, and we will call for a ball up. Can you explain, because you played in the combined side last year, the difficulties of how the differences between Division 1 and Division 2? Obviously in Division 1 you have your Seattle teammates. You're able to play and train with them all year round. As much as you might play Metro and not too many 18-a-side games, you know each other, you know your strengths. How hard it is to come into a combined team where virtually you meet on Friday for the first time?
Maybe. You might get a dinner, you might not. You might have a chat beforehand, you might not. You've got to imagine they show up an hour early at the field, and that's where you try and cram, learn as many names, try and learn the skills, you know, see your teammates. And Div 2 is really about who combines the best in the shortest amount of time. So first game is a bit of a learning curve.
Lauren Williams there, dispossessed of the ball. Trying to also get in there for a second crack at it, Tilsed. That's on a good quickly through the football on the boot. Now taken away. The Tigers again will trying to get a hurry kick, but they'll miscue it. Still on centre wing on the tournament central side of the ground. And all wrapped up there. We'll call for a ball up. Again, just reminding those that have just joined us on the stream, unfortunately, the Centennial Tigers wearing the Columbus Cats jumpers did not put their numbers in, and also missing 2 names from their team sheet as well, which means we're struggling to call who's got the ball for the Tigers as opposed to the Sockeyes who have put their numbers in. As the ball is on the far side of the ground, just putting their head over the football and having a crack at it there was Konechny. The ball will go over the boundary line and out of bounds. Lawrence Konechny, of course, originally coming out of the New York Magpies, now helping set things up there at the Portland Sockeyes. As the ball is thrown back in, close towards the boundary line. Konechny again, otherwise known as Schnitz. He's around the corner. Good tackle laid on there, that occasion from Caro Park. Ball spilled out here for the Tigers. They try to gain it forward, but it'll be sent back from whence it came. On that occasion, the kick coming from Tilsed in towards the middle of the ground. Good work through the middle there for the Sockeyes. Means they now have something to work with on the broadcast wing position. That's Harrell.
This is Yui, new to football.
And she now has the football on the right and goes up. That's Katrina Shearer put the arm out there. They brought it to ground. Trying to come through there was Stokely. Now out to Williams. Williams being harassed, lost control of the football. It's Konechny. Now getting across there to Stokely. Stokely goes forward. Mark taking here. Machado. Brandy Machado on the right boot, and it's away to the right-hand side. But we'll register as the first score. Portland 1 behind. No score for Centennial. That's 1-0. I'm interested to know what tactics you would like to use, April. When you've seen the ball, it's been caught deep in defence, and you're the team kicking into this 2-goal breeze here at the Silver Lake Sports Complex. There's not much tree shelter around, so there's no dead pocket to work with. How do you try to lighten for your team to move the ball up the ground?
I mean, one of the things, these fields are wide, and I think not enough teams are using the width, so deep in the pockets to come up the side. Those short stabbing kicks so that they're easier to catch, especially against the wind. You don't want to launch any floaters.
As the ball goes up the line, here's Katrina Shearer now. They call her Sonic. She tips the ball in front of herself, tips the ball again, almost Gaelic style. Wanted to go for a third one, but it was a fresh airy. Missed it completely. Goes back in for a second crack at it. Gives off the hand pass. One-step kick coming inside the 40-metre area. A little bit of don't argue. Here's an opportunity now for the Tigers. Directly in front of goal, and they'll score there first. So 6-1. The Tigers lead Portland. Centennial 6, Portland 1. That's one straight 6 to 1 behind. And it all came down to Katrina Shearer. Unlike other sides who've been bombing it long, her movement was speed.
A little handball out the back to Jessie Aston, who then launched it into the middle. Perfect hotspot zone. Really great opportunity to capitalize.
So we wait for the umpire to bring the ball back. 5-point lead at the moment. Just checking to see if the team sheet's updated with the numbers or not for Centennial. Unfortunately not. I think that might be a bit of a slap on the wrist from the league just afterwards. Or at least from the commentator's point of view anyway, as Machado was there. Lost control of the ball and coming in to lay the tackle here, Park, and the umpire says holding the football. And that will be a free kick going the way of the Portland Sockeyes. We'll have the ball back on the halfback flank. Kick it long and up the line. Taking the mark once again is Caitlin Tilsed. Tilsed popping it long to Machado, who got crunched, but managed to stand tall. I think she might be a little bit sore after that one, April.
I think she can handle a big hit here or there.
And Katrina Shearer overran the football. Now going in there and trying to extract it out, Caro Park. And the ball popped out. Shearer punched it forward. Now the kick, the line. Machado did a little bit of shipping work, allowed Park to try and squeeze the football out. Was trying to find her intended target at full forward. Ball just fell short of her. And it could be Stacks in the pill. And the umpire is going to ask for the football back. I think that might be Castellieri that's gone in there to try and hold the football up. So we'll try and restart the play again. It's Shearer who's going to do the ruck work against Machado. And Shearer will get the football back and get a hurry kick away. Nice little mark taken. On the halfback flank, Lauren Williams holding things up there. Thought about the hand pass. Worked out okay. I'll try and move the ball quickly. One bounce, very awkward. The umpire says you're being held while you're doing it, which you're not allowed to do. And that means it's a free kick for going the way of the Sockeyes. I'll have it here on the wing position, looking for Machado, who takes a mark. Now, she's got an open forward line to work with. She'll struggle kicking to the breeze from 40 out. And that's what she does. She goes towards the hot spot. Looking in this Kosnetsky direction, that was Katrina Shearer back there. Kicked it up the line, and now almost had a chance to run on it, but they overran it.
This is Jessie Aston now, who's fighting for the ball.
We're wearing the 26?
Bright green boots.
Thank you very much. It always helps when someone's wearing the bright green boots. You go, now we know who they are. Or, of course, when you got like the ginger running around with the orange hair, you go, you cannot miss it. Or like when Wusha was running around for the Boston Demons, got all the tats up the right arm, you go, yep, we know who that is. As now Machado with the football. Tries to get that out. She goes spinning around and around and around. Shearer over the top. Squeezed out. Little hand pass going backwards. Now Lauren Williams. Williams now gets on the right boot. Goes up the line. Oop, juggling it and trying to take the football there. One of the Centennial Tigers players, wearing of course the Columbus Catch Jumpers. Kicks it up the wing position. Just trying to get out in front posse there was Diane Walsh from the Boston Demons. She'll go back in and try and support with the tackle as Marie La Victoria is there from the North Star Blue Ox to try and give support there. North Star Blue Ox representatives playing for Portland today. Still on the halfback flank as Shearer goes running through again. Shearer kicked the football in front of herself. Shearer with yet another toe poke. Puts it into a dangerous spot. Shearer was calling for it on the run through. They kick it towards the top of the goal square and it will go away to the right-hand side and will register as a minus score. 7-1. Centennial lead Portland. That's 1-1-7 to 1 behind. But again, the second time that the Tigers score, April, it's through that pure will from Katrina Shearer.
Yeah, and the ball's coming in. She's got speed. It's coming in fast, and they've got to be ready for it.
As we have the football now in the hands of the Tigers with a hurry kick around the corner from 25 metres out from goal. It's away to the right-hand side. Will register as another minus score. 8-1. The lead to Centennial. They are 1-8 and 1 behind. The Portland Sockeyes, as we wait for the ball to be brought back into play. Looking for Machado, who's pushed up the line. Now, of course, you've played ruck a number of times for Seattle, and should I also say, in Essendon VFLW when you were over there in Australia. Can you talk about, just as a ruck, I mean, people just see it obviously on TV, is this flying shot at goal. It's going to be marked in the goal square. We'll come back to that conversation, April, about the ruck and the role that you've got to play around the ground. This opportunity here on a very tight angle. We'll be kicking from about 3.5 metres out and could put it out to 15 points, the difference. Doesn't run around, but does it squeeze in? It does. Centennial now go to 14. 2-2-14 Centennial. And just the one behind for the Portland Sockeyes. Talking about the ruck craft, I mean, when people, particularly Americans, see it on TV for the first time, they see a ball up in the middle and they go, oh, is that all they do, just a jump ball? Talking about the ground covered and the roll covered by the ruck in the game.
When you're going the full field, that literally means you're a midfielder, you're running with the ball, running with the contest from the forward line to the back line. That's what it looks like Brandy's doing. She's all over the place today.
As the ball is back up in the middle again, it's one out by Machado. Brent the ball to ground. Tilset in there. Tries to get it out. Hurry kick away, was quick and was good. Now puts it out into space. Who can run onto it here? Will be another opportunity for the Tigers. At the half forward flank, there's some excellent body work here. Welch is doing okay for the Sockeyes. She goes to ground. Welch rolled over again, went back in for a second effort, and the umpire, Lee Barnes, who you'll know very well through the USA Freedom Program, one of the former coaches, calls for the football back. Throws it up in the air, and trying to get a hurry kick away. On that occasion, missing it was Marie La Victoria. Goes to ground, hurried snap out of the pack. Now an opportunity. Once again for Marie La Victoria to try and lay the tackle on. Doesn't quite work out. Pressure from Lauren Williams. The ball goes over the boundary line and out of play. Now, this is an interesting thing. I was talking with Donnie Hess about what we call pass score when you're using this wind advantage to the right-hand side. We reckon it is about 2 goals. So how you see the scoreboard at the moment is this flying shot on goal will completely change my question. 3-2-20. For Centennial, 1 behind Portland. That is 20-1. I was going to ask the question, was 13 points the difference? Do you think they're on par, Centennial Tigers? Is it safe to say they're ahead of it?
No, I wouldn't say anyone's safe, right? Especially when you know you've got the advantage in the second half, and it could be a 2-goal advantage, it could be a 3-goal advantage. Contest is pretty evenly arm wrestling in the middle. So you've got to think that no lead is safe.
I do know that Brandy Machado likes playing forward. So when Portland do kick with the breeze, do you prefer to use her in the ruck to bomb it forward? Or do you go, let's put someone in the ruck, even if it means conceding the ruck win, and having Machado deep in the forward line to just try and create a presence?
You know, if they're able to set up, and win it out of the middle and just get 1 kick away to Brandy, that would be really advantageous for them.
Ball deep in again to the Tigers forward line. Oh, look at that play. Oh, one behind though. It's clipped the post. It's clipped the post. It was a tremendous effort to hold the football up, but the kick, a skill from the side of the boot. So 3-3-21 to one behind. That's Centennial 21 to Portland 1 behind. Again, if you've just joined us on the stream on USAFL.com, Peter Holden and April Munn, who of course is the president of the USAFL Women's Association, with us. We do apologise. We're not calling the game how we would normally call it, which is every name. That unfortunately is because the Centennial Tigers wearing the Cats jumpers have not put their numbers in and are missing a couple of names from their team sheet. So it's actually almost impossible for us to be able to do a normal Aussie rules call where we'd be calling out every name for you. As the ball is close up against the boundary line, again going in the later tackle, Marilla Victoria, and it's being held up momentarily. Now trying to get it out under pressure, Caro Park. Find out the hand pass. Still 30 metres out from goal as the tackle is laid on and maybe being pinned with it, as Till said. Umpire said no, squeezed out. Katrina Shearer is a name we can call because we know Sonic. She usually had the blue streak in her hair and is a representative of the USA Freedom of the 2017 International Cup. And, of course, played for Bond University, where she kicked, I believe, 8 goals across her stint, playing in the QFOW for just a month. Now here's a flying shot at goal for the Tigers. This looks pretty straight and pretty through the middle. That one there, I can definitely see, is Sarah Edwards-Rona, the captain of the Centennial Tigers. Her goal just blows out the lead now to 4-3-27. To just the one behind for the Portland Sockeyes, 27-1. And this kind of, strangely enough, April, I know this is a little bit before your time, but it reminds me of almost, and again, it's the agency of this breeze, of what Portland was able to do to sides back in 2016 when they won their Division 2 title there at Sarasota. Again, similar situation. There was a wind blowing to one end of the ground, and they just went straight down the guts every time and just carved sides open with early 4 or 5 goal leads.
If that's what works to get ahead and to use the advantage when you've got it, knowing you're going to be against the wind in the second half, I'd want to rack up as many majors as possible.
Umpire's called a throw, so a free kick going here to Brandy Machado, who I had the pleasure of meeting at the Women's Sports Bra in Portland. I didn't mispronounce that name. Women's Sports Bra is actually the name of the bar, which is fantastic to see. It's an actual bar dedicated to showing just women's sports in Portland, Oregon.
Owned and operated by women only, supporting women in sports. You love to see it.
And did I hear correctly? There's one, well, not that same brand, but the same concepts coming to Seattle?
Same concept, opening soon.
Excellent, looking forward to it. That means I got another flight out to Seattle at some stage to be able to see that. Mark taken there for the Centennial Tigers. Their long kick, though, is going to be intercepted, and once again taken by Caro Park from the Boston Demons. And she kicks the football inside the 40-metre arc. And it's going to be held up. Trying to get in there is Lauren Williams. Can't get it out. Now kicking around the corner is Machado. Couple of bounces. Lauren Fox is there. Got mown down. Hurried kick. Olivia Von Gareth. There is Shearer, who kicked it off the ground. Oh, that was harsh, and that was, the umpire said it was in the side, not in the back, so you can play on. Coming in to lay the tackle there, Johanna Roberts, and the umpire will take the football back. And just to clarify for everyone as well for Women's Division 1, we know we're playing 14 aside here in Women's Division 2. Women's Division 1 this year, are we playing 16 or 18s?
We are playing 18 aside.
Oh, so we're playing better than the AFLW, the traditional game of 18 aside, which I think is absolutely fantastic. As the ball comes out towards the wing position, Edwards-Rona again. She's just got to do some dancing. Oh, she's being held. No, she got rid of it and then kicked it around the corner on the right boot. That's some excellent football. Goes up, trying to trap it there with Stokely. Has to go back in again, being worn like a cheap suit, and the umpire says, I'll take the ball back, please, and we'll call for a ball up. So we'll throw it up in the air. And that went out to the Tigers. It's very hard to keep saying Tigers when someone's wearing a Cats jumper. It does trip you up at times. Taken away there. Von Gareth now kicks it up the line. Shearer in front position. Takes a very strong grab. We're seeing some great quality competition here in the USAFL. You actually had the pleasure of about a month or so ago of having your Seattle Grizzlies play in the AFL Canada Cup. How are you rating that talent out of Canada at the moment?
Oh, they they came at it really hard. The teams were there. Everybody's in the same situation. Hasn't played football in a few years, and the teams from Canada are smooth. They played some really good football, really pretty football. Saints, Quebec, everybody was represented. Toronto.
You got BC Vancouver. Yeah.
BC Vancouver, team we play quite often.
Excellent to hear. And, of course, Calgary Kookaburras, who used to send some teams down here over the years. But back to this game, more importantly, 4-3, 27-1 behind. It's 27-1 in favour of Centennial over Portland. The question is, 26-point buffer. Are you confident they've built enough of a buffer to park the bus for this second half?
Like I said, I would never feel comfortable myself as a player calling something set in stone, right? You've still got 20 minutes of football. Anything can happen, and I wouldn't let up.
If you were to look at the Portland Sockeyes side, I mean, we've obviously been mentioning Machado, the tallest player out there, one of the most skilled. Who else has to stand up for Portland in this second half for them to be able to throw down a challenge? Because really, where they're at, they've got to kick 5 goals to win it.
Yeah, one of their staples, Loz Williams, I think we could see some more from her. She's been laying the tackles and coming out of the contest. But I'd like. They also have some new faces, so I'd like to see some of their brand new players feel more confident with the ball. And again, it's about who's adapting more quickly.
We might take this opportunity to take a break here on USAFL.com. It is a 26-point lead to Centennial over the Portland Sockeyes at halftime in Women's Division 2 Field 4. We'll be back in a moment. and welcome back to Field 4, Women's Division 2, here at the United States Australian Football League National Championships. And that, of course, is thanks to Coopers, who have been a proud sponsor of this league since 2000, when this Nationals were held in Los Angeles. And the newest sponsor, Tasmanian. And, of course, the scoreboard is brought to you by WatchAFL.com, which shows Centennial Tigers wearing the Cats jumper of white and blue at 4-3-27, leading the Sockeyes of Portland. One behind, they are wearing, of course, the, you could almost call it greyish jumper with a red V across. You've got Peter Holden and the president of the United States Australian Football League Women's Association, April Munn, with you. And, of course, you'll see her running around later on stream for the Seattle Grizzlies. And as we speak at this moment, Skrzeczny takes it away here for the Portland Sockeyes, puts it in the general direction of Von Gareth, who's chasing after the football, and it will be held up here at the half-forward flank. Lee Barnes electing to keep the whistle away for a moment, saying I don't need to blow it, as Sarah Edwards-Rona is near the contest. Here's the kick towards true centre half-forward. Coming up there is Autumn Harrell. Harrell, of course, from the North Star Blue Ox, playing under the banner of the Portland Sockeyes today. Hurry kick out of the contest again by Skrzeczny, was smothered off the boot. Trying to get in there is Harrell once more, all over the top of it. And the umpire circling says, no, it's come out. You can play on. Getting in there is Olivia Von Gareth. Ball gets squeezed out towards the half-back flank position. Edwards-Rona dropped it, went back, got it again, got caught by two players, but somehow squeezed out a left boot kick. Skrzeczny goes in there, and, pardon me, not Skrzeczny, it's Lauren Williams. The umpire blows the whistle and will call for a ball up. Now, just to recap again for those that have joined us, the Portland Sockeyes are joined by players from the Boston Demons, Philadelphia Hawks, North Star Blue Ox, and for the Centennial Tigers, they're joined by players from Ohio Valley River Rats, also from the Columbus Cats and the Quebec Saints as well. That Quebec Saints player is Gabrielle Bureau, and St. Louis Blues, Emma Castellieri. Of course, in your position, El Presidente of the USAFL Women's Association, can you talk us through, I guess, the numbers bouncing back from last year when we're slowly coming out of the COVID restrictions in the United States?
Yeah, so when we take a look at the numbers, I mean, 2019 was the peak year for the Women's League in the USAFL. When we look at 2021, numbers dropped to only about 112. This year, after registration closed, we had upwards of 230. So we've nearly doubled. Few injuries and late-minute pullouts at the last minute, but numbers are looking really robust and healthy, and on track, moving the right direction for next year.
Machado brought the ball to ground. Quick little shoveled hand pass out, courtesy of Harrell, immediately smothered off the boot. And I think it was Bureau who did well there, and the umpire has said holding the football. Player Pin trying to run away there, and it will go the way of Park, who squeezed the kick around the corner, find Tilset. Tilset on the right boot, goes up the broadcast wing, getting close towards the boundary line. Chasing after it there is Roberts. Oh, done well to keep it in. There's the hand pass coming up the line, being caught with their Bureau. Managed to get rid of it. That's Sonic, who's got rid of the long sleeves and just wearing the sleeveless top now. Williams. The Machado, who got caught by Edwards-Rona. Put it on the ground, but broke the tackle somehow. Got the hand pass out. That's with McSky. McSky towards the half-forward flank position. Skrzeczny goes in there. Can't quite get it out. The ball is shoveled out momentarily. Now receiving it, Williams. Williams is caught by two players immediately. She was going nowhere, and an opportunity now for the Centennial Tigers. They come in towards the middle of the ground, but it's trapped pretty well there by Tilshead. And now sent back in there by Eriksson towards Machado's direction. Inside the 40-metre arc. Little hand pass off by Bureau. Here's the kick by the Tigers out towards Williams on the offensive wing position. Looking for Bureau there, who end up doing the shepherding when instead of going in to get the football. Now she goes in with Skrzeczny on her hammer. The umpire will ask for the football back. Another way also looking at the numbers, if we compare it to what I call the peak for national championships, which was in San Diego back in 2016. And when you include the men's, there were 6 fields running at once, which was absolutely fantastic. We're only really 2 teams down from that number. And when you think about it, both of those teams were Canadian. The Calgary Kookaburras and the Montreal Angels, who've now called themselves the Quebec Saints. So when you take away the Canadian side, do you say from a US team's numbers perspective, we're back on par again with the very peak of 2017?
Absolutely. When you consider that, it's very healthy.
As we wait for the ball to be thrown back up in the air, Machado will tap the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds, and will call for a throw-in. Now, I want you to look at the Portland Sockeyes and how they're structuring up. Are you happy at the moment with what they're trying to do to, I guess, create some attack? Because they've got 5 goals to kick, and in my inkling, probably 15 minutes to do it.
Yep, the ball is finding itself stuck in this pocket a little bit, and it's definitely at this side of the field. They just need to figure out that structure to capitalize on the opportunities.
And McSky gets it towards the top of the goal square, and this is where they've got their first. Liv Von Gareth, one of the founders of the North Star Blue Ox, playing today for the Portland Sockeyes. Jump up, makes them 1-1-7. 4-3-27 is Centennial. That's Portland 7, Centennial 27. And I guess, to be honest, this next play that we see, the reset, will kind of show, can Portland create goals fast enough, or can Centennial make it a slow grind for Portland? Because time is not the Sockeyes' friend.
Absolutely. If they can get another quick one on the board, it is going to be an arm wrestle to the finish.
As we wait for the umpire to take the ball back in the middle of the ground, and we'll see if we can get play going again. Up in the air, Machado doing the ruck work. Sarah Edwards-Rona tries to squeeze the football out. Spins sideways. Quick hurried hand pass going backwards to Marie Victori. She almost threw the football out with a shovel job trying to find Williams. Hand pass now back, finding Tilsed. Tilsed swings around on the right. Edwards-Rona now with it, dancing around, gets the hand pass away. Whoop, Gabrielle Baru runs straight into trouble. Katrina Shearer's got it now. Shearer on the right, kicks it. Mark taken out here on the half-forward flank for the Centennial Tigers. They're looking for Shearer, who I don't know if she was trying to pull it in or punch it away. It was a very awkward hand out. Barreau takes the mark. Barreau for the Quebec Saints. Great to see that obviously up in Canada. AFL Quebec is a 3-team metro competition. And just further southwest, of course, you've got in Ontario. They've got a 5-team women's competition there. So they're able to play regular games. The ball goes over and out in front of Shearer, and we'll see a ball throw in. Which of your Seattle Grizzlies teammate is that that's doing the boundary riding work today?
This is Liz. She's new to the team.
Okay.
New to the team, first nationals, also in the process of a name change.
Okay.
And I don't know which last name is currently on our roster.
I love that hesitation. My teammate, don't worry, I know people at sports clubs, at career clubs, that know people by their nicknames, and as soon as you mention their first name, they go, who? Oh, such and such, yeah. They're only known by nickname. As the ball is headed in the Machado direction, knocked away from her. Barreau is waiting on the side for the ball to come out. Almost went through her legs. Trying to extract it there, Stokely. That Pami is Kuznechny who went in there. Almost like a rugby maul forming near the centre half forward position for the Portland Sockeyes. Now Edwards-Rona has the ball for Centennial. She's got to dance around Williams. Kicks the ball high. Erickson was parking herself underneath it. Couldn't quite read it correctly. Now getting in there, McSky against Rona. Rona went to ground. Getting the kick out again, McSky. Machado crushed her way through. And it's come out now for the Centennial Tigers. The hurry kick on the left boot. Coming up towards the centre half forward position. And all wrapped up there as McSky, and will call for a ball up. Again, for those that have just joined us, Centennial Tigers combination is actually wearing the catch jumper from Columbus at this moment. Portland wearing their traditional jumper. And we haven't been calling out many players for Columbus and their combination because their numbers, unfortunately, are missing off the team sheet. Show us a few names. And I believe in the rules of the USAFL, when a team submits a side without numbers, those players miss out on the possibility of votes. And those votes include most consistent and best in division. So that's why it's very important that you put the numbers in, not only just for selfish reasons, for us commentators as well. As the hurry kick around the corner towards the 40-metre arc for the Centennial Tigers. Sees it in a one-on-one competition. It's held up well. Coming in there late, Erickson. And a beautiful tackle laid on there. An absolute will clamp by Carrow Park. And the umpire will say it's going nowhere, so I'll take the football back and ball it up. 20-point advantage to Centennial over Portland. Machado wins it out. Edwards-Rona rushes through, gets it on the right boot, headed to the direction of their forward, who we think might be Cricket Temple, one of the reserves for New York. And she kicks it through, and I think, April, that might be the dagger.
Against the wind, it is going to be tough to come back from that.
So there's a conversation between field umpire and goal umpire. No, confirmed, that is a goal. And that means it is 5-3-33 Centennial, Portland 1-1-7. Centennial 33, Portland 7, 26 points the difference. And, geez, aren't they gold, April, those goals into the breeze?
Absolutely. And as we're limited on time, you've got to capitalize on every opportunity, and that's exactly what we saw Centennial do here.
We might take this opportunity also just for a very quick plug of the USAFL Foundation, and people who can donate to it. Is a not-for-profit organisation. It's tax deductible for those in the US, and already I believe the Women's Association have benefited from that.
Absolutely. They were one of the first recipients of a $1,500 grant that was focused on growth of the Women's League, and that money was distributed directly to local clubs.
Now, you talked about there was a grants process. We'll come back to that into a moment as Portland start to attack. Looking for Skishnechny, who's there in the forward line, also with support from Lauren Fox. And like a fox on the run, she chased after Shearer, and Shearer has kicked the ball away, only for it to be intercepted. Now half-forward flank here. Park for the Sockeyes, heading in the Machado direction. Dropped it under the pressure of Shearer. Machado just slammed it on the boot in towards the hot spot, 20 metres out from goal. Getting crunched on the way through is McHugh. And the umpire allows play to go on, despite there being a heavy traffic jam of players. Hurry little kick off the boot, dribbles towards the goal square. Brereau put a little toe poker to kick it away while under pressure from Harrell. It's still in the forward pocket here for the Portland Sockeyes. And now the Centennial Tigers are going to come out of defence, all very close to running 20. Lee Barnes says, nah, too far. Now, talking about the grants process with clubs that had to apply, what was part of the grants process? What were they outlined to obviously help the money go towards?
Yeah, this was an application process where we clearly outlined if you were to receive any of the grant money from the foundation, how would you recruit at the local level, and what is the recruitment plan for 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years, and what kind of growth would you like to see locally? How will that contribute to the growth of the Women's League?
We'll talk about that in a moment's time, and recruiting, because obviously, as we always point out between the men's and the women's divisions here in the USAFL, the men's is very close to a traditional 50-50 split between Aussie men playing the game and American men, where on the women's side, we've always said it's about 90% American women, 10% Australian. Even if it's that much Australian, it's been well and truly dominated by local American women. As the ball is held up here in the centre of the ground, umpire will call for the football back. Just in generic terms, what are some of the recruitment ideas that have come through that application process?
Yeah, absolutely. Some clubs have newly found, pride parades, pride events to be great opportunity to get new people interested at the club level. But we've also got, a lot of teams now have this multi-generation where childcare is a big factor. And so using some of that funding to provide assistance so that women can actually play football and have time dedicated for their own football development. We've also got, ways that we can assist with travel, which local clubs have said is the largest barrier to preventing women from getting the competition.
As the ball is just held up here in the Portland forward 40 arc, as trying to squeeze it off the boot there was Erickson after receiving it from Machado, was in the bottom of the pack and tried to fire at the hand pass. Umpire says there's a sling against Sarah Edwards-Rona, and that means it will be a free kick going the way of the Portland Sockeyes. And again, ending up with the football is Rachel Erickson from the North Star Blue Ox, who, of course, is one of the two teams in Minnesota, the other one being, of course, the Freeze, who play in Division 1. And one of the sides that you'll be coming up against at some stage in your pool.
2 p.m.
That will be a big game as the ball is kicked in towards the centre square, now out towards the wing, and it was Squid that was trying to lay a tackle on there. Castellieri, who comes out of the St. Louis Blues, playing today for the Centennial Tigers. Shearer goes long with the kick, only for it to be intercepted by McSky. McSky on the right boot, now kicks it in the Machado direction, went floating over her head, out the back. Barreau's lurking nearby. Shearer's going to go chasing after the football here. Didn't get bumped off the ball, kept her feet very well. That's the important thing in Aussie rules, keeping your feet. Edwards-Rona ducked their head, got rid of 3 tackles, then got it across to Shearer. Shearer kicked it around the corner to be trapped by Williams. Williams now with the football, puts it on the boot, heading in the direction of Machado, went over her head. 30 metres out from goal. They try and spit out of trouble here. Is that dropping the football? Lee Barnes says no. Kicking around the corner here, Matty McHugh. McHugh's bounce. Is it Kine? Not quite. Chasing after it is Fox. Taya Fox is there, has support. Here's the shot on goal. It's away to the right-hand side. And Richards is just one behind. So it's 1-2-8 Portland, 5-3, 33 Centennial. Portland 8, Centennial 33, 25 points the difference. As we'll wait for the ball to come back into play once again. And can I let the cat out of the bag that I do believe, and I think AFL Canada may have let the news slip early, that there will possibly be a parallel cup and the women's side's playing in it next year?
Oh, you'd certainly love to see it. I don't know that I have the details to confirm anything, but rumor has it.
Yes, indeed. That was after the releasing the Northern Lights squad, or training squad, there in Canada. So I don't know what the exact dates were, but the talk was Florida next year. So let's hope that we get some of that international football back for women, because it's been a while. It's been, I think 2017 was the last time with the International Cup, which of course the USA Freedom went down there, and the USA Liberty had a tour against local Melbourne-based clubs. Here's Park, who now kicks the football, goes long towards the top of the square, came off hands. Shearer's there. Will they concede the point? They elect to in the end. So 1-3-9 Portland, 5-3-33 is the Centennial Tigers. That's Portland 9, 33 the Centennial Tigers. The ball is now moved out towards the half-back flank, half-forward flank, as the intercept happens there from Park. Brady Machado couldn't quite trap the football. Now gets it back on the right boot, kicks around the corner. 1-2 bounces over the boundary line and out of play. And that's, we'll see a throw. And again, we're talking about the recruitment process earlier and how they get players. We've seen some unusual ones. You, of course, were recruited out of a gym.
Yes, the local gym, local pubs. Those are some of the places Seattle's found some of our great pickups.
And the interesting one from the Texas Heat, they were recruiting players a few years ago from roller derby.
Oh, absolutely. I think anywhere where there's some contact sports, rugby, Gaelic, you want to reach out to those athletes as well. See if we can get them to make the transition. Here's
the kick now, looking in the Williams direction. So I got away from her. Hurry kick around the corner. McSky there. Weaves around, puts it on the right boot, goes towards the top of the square, looking for McHugh. Trying to get herself front position. It's jumped on, and the umpire blows the whistle, and we will call for a ball up. We wait for the ball to be thrown up again by umpire Lee Barnes, 25 metres out from goal. Trying to get in there, the number 17, Von Gareth. And again, we blow the whistle, and we'll call for a ball up. We'll try and restart the play once more. Going to the right of screen, the Portland Sockeyes, they find themselves at the moment down by 24 points, 33-9. And time fast running out on them. As the kick quickly by the Centennial Tigers up the line is going to be trapped here by Welch. Well, run around, that's good play by Tilsett. Puts it in the direction of Machado. Barreau going with her. Up against the boundary line. Ball just still manages to stay in. Oh, dump tackle if you don't mind. The kick just went up and down, and Barreau went back and got it again. Machado does well to smother it and get it back, and then just throw it on the boot to a dangerous spot. McHugh, Fox, dropped it at the crucial moment. Shearer going with her, and it squeezes in for a behind. 1-4-10. to 5-3-33. That's Portland 10, Centennial 33. Also as well, can you talk about, I guess, the adjustment being made to, particularly in your city, you don't have the opportunity to travel much like all the sides, but you usually divide yourself up into smaller teams. So how's it been like when you play metro footy a lot through the year, playing on this smaller, probably soccer-sized ground, to then trying to teach everyone to spread out and learn the traditional 18-a-side game?
That is always a struggle. I mean, in Seattle, really, we don't have grounds big enough. We've got mostly the soccer fields, and so the metro season is advantageous, and then you've always got that challenge.
And they just scored a point on the siren there, Portland, to go to 1-5-11, Centennial 5-3-33. But in the end, a 22-point win to Centennial, 33-11 over Portland. And in the end, as we've been seeing with this breeze here at the Silver Lake Sports Complex in Norco, California, April Munn, it has been the side that manages to use the best of the breeze wins the game. They set it up in that first half, the Centennial Tigers, with their blitz. And in the end, just Portland couldn't find their way through heavy traffic.
Absolutely. But that is something to note for later.
So the score is 5-3-33 to 1-5-11. We might wrap things up here very quickly. We have got coming up in a moment's time on Field 4. I know Brian Barris is about to jump into the broadcast position to bring us the next game, which is going to be Women's Division 1 action. I'll just bring that very quickly up for you. Here on Field 4. We've got women's games all the way through, excluding at 4 p.m. where we do have a men's game. We've got, of course, San Fran taking on Sacramento. The two local rivals are going head-to-head, including the reigning champions. And then at 2 p.m., your Seattle Grizzlies versus the Minnesota Freeze.
Absolutely. Looking forward to both of those games here on Field 4.
I'm Peter Holden. Time for us to wrap up. Stand by. Coming up in about 10 minutes' time, you'll have that game between San Fran and Sacramento.